Hi YouTube, it's Kathy, and welcome to the meme book tag. I was tagged by my good friend Saajid, who is one of the original creators along with Dylan, and I'm very excited to do this. Although some of these memes made me feel a little old because I wasn't really familiar with them. Oh well. Also, I'm very proud of my shirt choice for this video. You probably can't see it, but I'll show you in a second. So a long time ago, there was this video going around of this small child who every time the parent got to the end of the book, the baby would start crying because the book was done. In that very viral video, that baby was wearing this shirt. So yes, I bought myself one simply so I could reproduce that baby crying on Instagram. So I figured this is my most meme-tastic shirt, so I'm definitely wearing it for this book tag. Because I'm not a monster, all of these questions will be listed down below, so if you would like to do this tag, you definitely should. And that being said, let's get on to the tag. The first meme is Crying Kim Kardashian, and this is a book, obviously, that made you cry. For this meme, I picked Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. I absolutely adored this book. I ended up picking it up for the Booktubeathon last year, read it in one night. It made me cry a couple of times. Definitely that scene in the Artist's Alley. It was just so sweet, it was so cute, it's great fluff. Jen has a new book coming out very, very soon called The Brightsiders, which I am very excited for. And if you pay attention to small details like this, you might have noticed that my avatar for my channel changed recently to this, and this was actually drawn by Jen Wilde. If you support her on Patreon, you can get your own digital portrait. And because I love this book so much and because I loved her so much, obviously I'm doing that, and I'm also very excited not only for The Brightsiders, but I'm also very excited for her book that's coming out in 2019. It's called Going Off Script, and I want it now. Meme number 2 is Salt Bae, a book that needed just a little bit more. For this one I picked Knit One Girl 2 for the simple reason that this is a novella and I really wanted it to be a full-length novel. I wanted more time with these characters and their nerdy, awesome, delicious romance. So that's the only reason. The next meme is Guy Thinking, a book that made you think, and for this one I chose Word by Word, which is, yes, a book about how dictionaries are made. This is the type of thing I read. I found this book extremely fascinating, and it was just interesting to delve into all of these rules that people think are rules and why we have certain words and how language changes over time. I loved it. For number 4 we have Confused Guy, a book about which you do not understand the hype, and for me that is Ready Player One. I read this with my book club ages ago and nobody really liked it. Like, yes, I do enjoy nostalgia. Nostalgia is definitely a thing, but it wasn't exactly very well written. The main character wasn't very likable. There was a lot of trope happening and I just... That being said, I know the movie is out. I will probably watch it if it comes to Netflix in Canada, but I'm not gonna pay extra money to watch the adaptation of a book I did not particularly enjoy. The next meme is Evil Patrick, a guilty pleasure read. For me, reading isn't a guilty pleasure. I just like reading, so I took this as maybe something that I shouldn't read based on my age level. And because the author also has the name Patrick in their name, I decided this was what I was going to pick. It's The Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris. This is a really cute kids book. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited for the rest of the series to come out. It was also beautifully illustrated and I really just enjoyed the characters. Number 6 is Meryl Streep, a book you're always hyping up, and for me, that is Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crawley. This was my favorite book of last year. It's Australian YA contemporary, and it's just delightful. Number 7 is Successful Baby, a book you felt accomplished after reading, and for me, the most recent one of those is The Stand. If you did not see my recent wrap-ups, I listened to the audiobook of this. The audiobook is 48 hours long, and I listened to it in 8 or 9 days because I needed 1, to finish it for my weekly wrap-up, and 2, I needed to return it to the library. So the fact that I was able to finish in time for both of those things made me feel very successful. Speaking of Stephen King, number 8 is Pennywise, a book that promised one concept but you felt let down by it. And for this I'm picking another book I read from my local book club, which was Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. The premise of this book is every time this person dies, she comes back and lives her life again. That seemed really cool. And then it just turned into another, like, if you could go back in time and kill Hitler, would you kill Hitler book, and I just really didn't care for it. Number 9 is Headphones Guy, an audiobook you enjoyed, and for this I'm going to say most of A Series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. I say most of because books 1, 2, 6 through 13 are narrated by Tim Curry, and all of those were amazing. Books 3, 4, and 5 for some reason were narrated by the author, and he just didn't do the voices right. After you have Tim Curry, you can't really switch it. I'm assuming Tim was busy and that's why that happened, but I'm glad that they went back to Tim. Also, the first book is done as a radio drama, so every character gets their own voice actor and there's sound effects, and that was pretty cool, but I'm very happy with it just being Tim Curry for the rest because he is a great narrator and I love him. Number 10 is Distracted Guy, and this one calls for 2 books, one of them being a book that's been on your TBR for a very long time, and the second one being a shiny new book that has distracted you from picking up this other one. A book I've been meaning to read for quite some time now but just haven't gotten around to picking it up is Girl Sleuth, which is about Nancy Drew and all the women that wrote those books. Because I was a huge Nancy Drew fan as a kid. I love those books. I still have at least 50 of the old yellow hardcovers sitting on my bookshelf. Also scared to ever pick them up again in case there was some terrible stuff in there. Don't know. Don't really want to know, but I figure by reading this book I will find out if that is there. And a shiny new book that I've picked up recently from the library is Don't Cosplay With My Heart. I picked this up because this seems to be a fandom read, and I love me a fandom read. Number 11 is Catch Me Outside Girl, and this is a book pretending to be something that it's not. And for me, that was Badass Librarians of Timbuktu. I thought this was going to focus solely on the librarians and what was going down at the time. Most of the book was about the political system at the time, and if it had been marketed to tell me that information, I would have been fine with it, but it wasn't. Number 12 is the Dog in Fire meme, and it simply wants to know how many unread books you own, and I haven't counted them recently, but the last time I counted there were at least 75, so I'm gonna go with probably 85 books in my house that I haven't read because I just keep getting books from the library instead, because I'm there 5 days a week, so. And number 13 is a cool question because it's a bonus. You get to pick your own meme and appropriate book for it. For this, I picked the I don't always meme, which is always funny to me. And for this, I decided a genre you don't always read, but when you do, it's this book. For me, I don't really read a lot of romance or erotica unless I'm reading it for a book club of some persuasion, but one that I really enjoyed was Smut by Karina Halle. This one, for one, takes place in my hometown, which I did not know when I picked it up. It was just recommended to me and I was like, wait, I know where you're talking about. It's my city. This is Victoria, BC. And 2, the audiobook is just delightful, and if I am gonna read smut, I am going to read it as an audiobook so I can listen to it and kind of giggle to myself and nobody around me knows what I'm reading. And there you have it, the meme book tag. Thank you so much to Saajid for tagging me in this. I am so happy that I was able to get it back out to you much faster than the last time you tagged me in a thing, which I will link up here and down below in case you're wondering what that thing was. If you've not done this tag already, tag your it. I would love for you to do it, and then also like tweet at me when you've done it or leave it down in the comments below so I can go watch it because I would be very excited. On the way down in the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you next time. Bye!